I know it's kind of a trouble to get all the technology ironed out beforehand, but yeah, happy to be here and to see all of you face to face. And I was just going to read a couple of poems from my latest book, Far Other, which I have here with me. And I wanted to sort of seize upon the opportunity to read some of my grittier pieces that I think will be better received here than perhaps in other company or by other audiences. This poem is about an interval of time that I spent in China as a young person. It's called Dongguan. My sister Mariah's breakfast coincides with lunch. How the worst summer of my life I nocturned on bootleg DVDs and instant noodles. Knocked off novels, Catch 22, The Razor's Edge, Catcher in the Rye, Seymour. I lit cigarettes I hadn't figured out how to inhale, and bought my first box of condoms. Averting the supermarket checkout girl's gaze in the factory town of Dongguan, where my missionary parents' marriage ruptured in the first argument I ever heard them have. Mom, screaming behind the bedroom door, fainted that summer while hanging clothes on the balcony of our rented row house. Mangoes plopped in the lane of the gated compounds for the mistresses of Hong Kong businessmen, while I shampooed the thinning crown of my head from a quack Chairman Mao look-alike labeled bottle. I ran through my 20s. In Dongguan, I hung the red t-shirt I pranced in over the second-story rail. Mariah remembers this more than anything, stiffening with sweat. I still can't believe the movies we watched then. The Exorcist, 28 days later, Zodiac. She, only 12, now 26, night owls her way through grad school. I rise early with the kids, but see myself as I was then, ankles rolling over the mashed sidewalks of machine shops. Along the scum skirt canal, I caught 1,000 dark stares with my milk-white thighs. Then another poem about this. This book is actually sort of like my retelling of Confessions by St. Augustine, and the title of the poem takes inspiration from his description of various shadow loves that competed with his love of God, and it's called Shadow Loves, and describes a sort of, I don't know, promiscuous interval that I had in my 20s. Shadow Loves. In my 20s, I too grew wild, Augustine, prowling bar street hutongs in the shadow of the lighthouse. Now I shelter in the garage with a 2-year-old. There is so much static in the air out there, so many ghosts in the statuary of snow above and below me, where I crossed the 3 districts in a late night taxi, answered one shadow on the balcony while another waited in the bedroom. Surely my shadows grew, smoking hash in the dark attic where I smashed my head on a rafter and bit off the kiss goodnight. Surely some gnashed, some bled, Some believed, calling me back after I fled my father's city and married. Where are they now, my shadow loves? Let the blizzard of my early years eat the orchard while I carry in the basketballs. The third poem, now that I've delved into the past, sort of brings me up to the present, and it's called Easter Sunday in the Emergency Room. Let this pill bug rumble over my bare foot, fasten to my Christ flesh 1,000 tiny teeth. A nursing home of yellow toenails dwells within these walls of skin, these varicose veins, a married estate, a research study on premature antique ejaculations. Show me Jesus naked. The first time I saw semen, I stumbled in midnight Horn Creek family camp confusion to the toilet. My father held up the stain to his face, the way he used to read our bedtime stories. His glasses left on the nightstand. Please, God, tell me you enjoyed your body, however briefly. In the emergency room, I watch a documentary on crucifixion, olive wood infused with heel bone, while mud dries its poultice to my blue jeans, clay from the culvert where I planted my elbow and broke into a trinity of butterflies, hysterical laughter, nauseating pain, and good grief, the surprise. All right, I'm gonna read one more and then turn it over to somebody else, one of these other fine readers and cohorts in the magazine Enterprise. The last poem of the book is called Homestead. Something like the smell of sunscreen suggests the swimming pool of my boyhood on another pesticidal morning toward the end of June. July closing in, the month of the move, the scheduled closing, the fees as yet undisclosed. What will it cost to own a house? What gain this ownership? Again, Augustine, rolling and turning on his chain, chooses the conventicle over the affianced bride, and I wish things were so clear-cut for me. Catastrophe one way, tautology the other. An inchworm swings by the thread of its would-be cocoon. Light grabs the green shoulders of its photosynthesizing children. Since birth, I have chosen. I have planted my stake, my seed. I have seeded and steaded and selved myself here, belonging only to this infestation of ants. This dead smell about the garbage can doubtless is the fledgling that fell in before it could fly out and called for God knows how long for rescue. Okay, thanks. That's it.